Hey guys, it's HBW Gamer here, and right now I'm in the orchard because I came here to get a lot of acacia wood. It is called acacia wood, right? Yes. So today I'm gonna focus on finishing a building that I should have finished a long time ago. And look how it looks. The sky is dark, sometimes it does that, I don't know why. Anyways, so there is a project that I did a long time ago, but I never finished it, and I'm still not done. However, today I did put in a lot of work today. So I don't know if you remember, but I have a minecart railroad station that leads to the jungle. Well, if you remember correctly, we passed through a tunnel, right? Okay. Well, today I spent a lot of time turning the walls from cave looking into acacia wood. So this way, when you go through the tunnel, when you're driving in the minecarts, you don't feel eerie, you don't feel an eerie vibe, you actually feel secure and safe and sound. So that's what I want to finish. So I was gathering a lot of wood, as you can see. Hopefully that's gonna be enough. But oh yeah, all I need to put is the acacia planks, and I also made a little network. Not network, but how do you call this? It's not a network. It's system. I created a torch system in which, well, you're gonna see right now. I don't know how to explain it unless I show it. And I hate, you know how I have the more animals add-on? I forgot how it's called, this add-on. They added skunks, and this is what happens when you get close to them. That is so annoying, and they're everywhere, stinking up the place. They remind me of someone who I don't want to mention right now because they're gonna get offended. Oh, okay, this is what I was talking about. You see how this is the railroad, right? So you would pass through this tunnel. Well, as you can see, I turned the cave into wood. So now it looks very peaceful, very secure. You don't feel like you're gonna get attacked by anything at any chance. And I also finished this pathway. This pathway is gonna lead up to the Mexican styled town that I'm gonna build in this hill. So I'm done with that too. As you can see, I've been very productive lately. What is that? Oh, it's a bird. That's a bird. I thought it was a torch. Alright, well, back to the thing. So in this episode, I'm gonna finish the tunnel. I'm almost done. I already did all of the work. I actually did most of the work today. Before today, I think as far as I was to here. This was as far as I was. So today I actually did a lot. So the system that I was talking about is I have a torch. Okay, I have one torch to the right and then one to the left every 4 blocks. So as you can see, there's one right here. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the 5th one, which is right here, instead of putting it right here, I put it on the other side. That way I save up on torches and I have the both directions lit up, as you can see. While this, like all of my projects, they look very small, but they actually take a lot of time to finish. So the goal for this episode is to finish placing the planks and the torches. And I'm also, you know how I always like to have multiple projects at once. Well, right now I still have my house, my modern looking house. That's still one of the projects I'm working on. I know I've been doing that since February probably, but it's because I like to go, since that's gonna be my forever house, I already told Angel this, but because he would always get mad at me because I never finished it, and he thinks that I'm lazy and that I'm never gonna finish it. But the thing is that since that is my forever house, my base basically, I'm gonna be living there forever. As long as I play this world, I'm gonna be living there. So I'm just gonna go with the flow. Whenever I feel like working on it, I'm just gonna work on it. And if I don't feel like working on it, I'm not gonna work on it. So that's how I'm approaching my house. And as you can see, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I also finished the map room. So that's how I like to do things when it comes to my house. And then okay, so the projects that I have right now are the house. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here. Alright. This is where I was, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on, Minecraft. It's not October yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four, 5. Ah. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, I'm almost done. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to make more torches. That's convenient though because I have a lot of torches right here. Alright, so... Well, I don't have torches. I meant I have the coal to make the torches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I haven't forgotten what I was going to talk about, right? I'm just going to finish this and I'll continue talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Oh, that was a perfect 5. Ah, beautiful rain. Isn't it lovely? Now, I was thinking that I'm gonna add more planks right here because it looks a little weird right now. As you can see, it looks like you just go into like a little... What I mean with that is that it looks incomplete. So I'm gonna actually turn this into planks as well. With my powerful Silk Touch, Unbreaking 3, and Efficiency 3 diamond shovel that I got from a villager trade. We've been actually trading with those villagers because of that. I also got this Unbreaking 2 diamond pickaxe. And as you can see, I still have emeralds. I have the system where I trade with farmers. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn this into this right here, and then 1, and then I'm gonna turn this one into wood as well. And it's gonna look no, I hate misplacing. Okay, I might as well just change this one too. There we go. Look at it. That's such a little detail. That's such a very small detail. However, look at the big difference that it makes. Oh wait, I'm not done. I just realized. I'm not done. I'm not done. Here and here. There we go. Now I'm done. But this is gonna look weird, so we need to put dirt right here. So I'll put this. Oh, that's the only bad thing about the Silk Touch. You get the grass, but I mean that could also be a plus. Alright. And we're done. As you can see, that's pretty good. I never thought that I was gonna finish this during these times because that was a project that I started in like November, December, January. I don't even remember when. But it feels good to be done with that. The tunnel. This tunnel now, I used to be scared of coming into this tunnel because it felt like a weird, eerie vibe. But now it doesn't feel like that. As you can see. Yeah, this is so much better. It's very lit now. And I also finished this little path. So the returning path, because this path right here, this is the forward, I guess you could say, pathway, and then the other rail is going to be the returning path, which is the one that I worked on and I already finished. All I need is the rails. Okay, I'm not gonna go all the way over there. So that hill that you see right there, that's the Mexican style town hill where I'm gonna make that Mexican style town. Alright, let's go to sleep, and while we go to sleep I'll talk about the projects that I'm working right now. So right now I have like 4 ongoing projects. This is one of them, so this counts as one because I haven't finished it. I need to finish the pathway coming back. And as you can see, I need the rails, the redstone torches, and I also need to finish this wood little sideway. So this is one of the projects. The second project is my house. So that's 2 projects that I'm working on simultaneously. The third one is the orchard. I don't know if I have shown you the orchard. I have. Never mind. I did show you the orchard. I still need 2 wood types to finish the orchard. Technically 3, but I'm not gonna do the third one because that's bamboo and I don't want to do the orchard, the bamboo orchard here. I want to make a separate orchard of bamboo one day in the jungle, but not right now, and not in the near future either, because I don't see myself needing that wood right now. I mean, I did need a lot recently, but I'm already done with that, or almost done with that, so I don't really need to make an orchard, a bamboo orchard. So that's, how many was that? That was the railroad 1, my house 2, the orchard 3. Alright, so I have 3. I have 3 ongoing projects. I also have this building right here. This building I built, okay, this is, so right now the nickname, I nicknamed this building the ugly building because it is so ugly. So the story behind this building right here is that I wanted to recreate something that I built in 2017, I believe, in creative. No, it was 2018 in creative mode. But the difference is that this was originally made out of concrete. However, since I'm in survival and I know how hard it is to get concrete, this time around I was like, you know what? I have a lot of wood. I have a lot of dark oak wood, to be exact. So I was like, I'm gonna recreate it, but this time I'm gonna make it out of dark oak. But I just made it just cause I could. You know, there was no reasoning behind it other than the fact that I wanted to bring something from a creative world into this survival world. But then I was like, why did I do that? I have no plans for this place. So now it's an empty, ugly, brown chocolate house. At first I was like, maybe I could turn it into like a chocolate house because it, you know, looks chocolatey. But then Angel, well, actually we had the same idea at the same time. I was like, you know what, this actually looks a lot like Donkey Kong in a way. I don't know, like something about this building reminds me of Donkey Kong. So I was like, maybe I could make something Donkey Kong themed. But then I was like, what if I make something like nature wise? And then Angel had the same idea. And so basically, I guess I'll somehow integrate nature into this building somehow. I don't know how, but I was thinking of making a staircase going up, but how would I do that? So I was thinking about a staircase going upwards and a spiral staircase, but now that I'm looking at it, how is that even going to work? Because the building, you know what? Yeah, it could work somehow. I'll figure it out a way, but then it's going to be like hollow from the middle. so you can look down. Basically a classic spiral staircase that you see in movies where it's like a scary movie or something like that, and then someone's following you and then they're running upwards in a spiral staircase, and somehow the person in the bottom, the person following them catches them very quickly. Something like that, but I'll try to incorporate some kind of greenery, either by putting a lot of pots or vines or something like that. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it somehow. But basically for now, I will make like a little room up on top, and then it's just gonna be a spiral staircase going down, because this had no intention on being here. Alright, so that's project number... Okay, I forgot what I was doing, because, you know, I got a call. So I was counting the projects, right? So I have the railroad, my house, I'm missing one. The railroad, my house, this little thingy, 3. I'm not counting one, I'm pretty sure I'm missing one. Which one am I missing? Oh my god, I can't remember. Okay, so I said the first one was a railroad. Oh, the orchard, okay, I have 4. Okay. This, the ugly building, 1, the railroad, 2, my house, 3, the orchard, 4. And then I've been talking about the Mexican style town, so that's the 5th one. And then I don't know if you can see, but that huge treehouse that I started out of nowhere, because I got the idea and I was like, you know what, if I got the idea, just do it. So that's the 6th project that I have right now. Finishing that treehouse, which is taking longer than I thought, that I initially anticipated. I knew it was gonna take a long time, and I got this. I got what is the word I'm looking for? You know, when someone gives you the idea, how do you say that? How do you say that? Basically, I got the idea from that same world, that same creative world that I was talking about, where I got the ugly house from. In that world, I had a treehouse restaurant. It was basically a treehouse similar to this one, but way smaller, in a way smaller scale. Too, it had those ranches too, but differently. It was very small. It was way smaller than it is right now. And the purpose of that treehouse was just to have like a nice balcony on the top with a restaurant. So I came up with that idea in 2018. And then 2 years ago or a year ago, I don't remember, I was watching a world tour of a Minecraft world. And in that world, this guy, I don't know his name, honestly, I forgot. If not, I would shout out, shout? Is that how do you, I would shout out? I would mention his name, but I don't remember his name. But basically, he has this huge tree in the middle of the world that you can see from every point of the little town. What is that? Something saying? Whoa! Did I just witness? Did I just witness a wandering traveler drowning in my pool? How does that even happen? What was it doing in my pool? In my infinity pool, might I add. It's such a nice pool, honestly. I am so proud of this pool. It took me 4 hours to finish from start to end, and I did it in one go. But at the end, I was so satisfied. It is so nice. This is the size, and then you have this cherry tree dropping its blossoms into the water. It's so relaxing, so nice. And then you have this treehouse Oh, I just love my house. This is the best house I've ever built in my life in Minecraft. In real life, I would love to have a pool like this and to pull off the infinity effect. I basically just made it into a little waterfall, so I guess that's the reason the wandering traveler drowned, even though you could still swim up. Yeah, that's why I don't invite anyone to my pool. This is only for me and whoever becomes my family, you know? Oh, it's so nice. Influence! Influence is the word that I was thinking about. Why couldn't I think of that word? So anyways, I'm almost done with the treehouse. This treehouse is gonna serve as it's gonna house my pets. So I don't really know how yet, but I'm probably gonna make like a little staircase going up. But this is about 85% done. All I need is to finish the layers on top, and then I'm gonna do probably like a little like square balcony. Basically, I'm stealing some ideas from my old treehouse that I made 3 4 no, that's not 3 4 years ago. That's like 8 years ago now. Whoa, time flies. Well, I'm gonna steal that little balcony on the top from that world. So with the treehouse, it's 6 ongoing projects that I have right now. I don't know. I just like to have a lot of projects at the same time in case if I get bored of one project, I can go to the other one. And also, I want to add more rooms to my house. I don't know if I showed you this actually. I don't know if I showed you the living room because I worked on this off camera a long time ago, like probably like 2 months ago. And I love it because I basically tried to recreate a bonsai tree, but it's Minecraft, so not everything works. And then here I still need to do this. I still need to do the living room and the dining. Wait, that's the living room. I need to do the kitchen and dining room basically. And then you come up to my room. Oh yeah, I was gonna come here to sleep, right? Because I was gonna show you something, but then it turned into daytime, and the rain stopped. But I love the way these bonsai trees look from here. Also, the reason why I love having these type of tree houses is that it reminds me of the Deku tree from The Legend of Zelda. It has that type of vibe, like a fairy tale. Yeah, I can't wait to be done with that. But it's taking so long. I know I've said that a million times, but it surely is taking a long time. Okay, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah. And then the 7th project that I have is that bamboo hotel. I don't know how to call it. I think I'm gonna call it Sandy's Hotel, just because it's a recreation of Sandy's not treehouse, but building that she made in SpongeBob versus the big one. So I'm probably gonna call it Sandy. This is not gonna have an actual use. I mean, anyone who comes in this world could sleep in a hotel room if they wanted to, but it's not gonna serve a purpose. It's just for looks, because I really wanted to have my first building in this town. And I was like, whoa, it's gonna feel amazing to have the tallest building so far. But then I realized that it's only 4 levels, and the base that we made together, that's also 4 levels. And then I remember that I also have that. And then right now when I was looking at this, I saw the treehouse, and that's gonna be the tallest thing so far. So failed, and it's a tie between this treehouse and the tower that I made. You can even see it from here because of the render distance in this tablet. There you go. Actually, you can't even see it yet. There you go. I feel like the tree is taller. It's not even a tree house. I don't know why I keep calling it a tree house, because it's not really a tree house technically, but I'm still gonna call it a tree house. Alright. Alright. We can finally talk about. So I have 7 ongoing projects, and in this episode I want to talk about the 8th that I'm thinking about, that I already want to plan. I want to plan out, because in the orchard all I need is to finish this pathway to connect it finally to the town, because right now, even though it's very close, it's basically almost connected. You just need, if I were to add like 3 little stones and then join them, add them here, the orchard would finally be connected. But what I mean with connected is that I want to have the pathway, the stone pathway, connected all the way. All I need to finish the orchard is the blue crimson. I don't know if it's called like that, the blue fungi crimson, whatever, from the nether, the blue wood type, and the hardest wood type that everyone hates, that I definitely, not everyone, but I love the color of that wood, but I hate harvesting it. The mangrove. Oh, I am so scared of the mangrove orchard, because collecting that wood, oh, it's a nightmare. I saw a hack, but I don't think it works in Bedrock edition. And as you can see, I started, but it's going to take so much bone meal, so I probably need to go to the nether and kill a lot of skeletons. Or I could compost a lot of seeds, but that's going to take forever, and it's not going to give me that much bone meal. Alright, the 8th, I can't believe it's 8th ongoing project. The 8th on the next project that I'm gonna plan is, I don't know if I said this before in an episode, but I did tell Angel a long time ago, like 5 months ago. I told him that one of the things that I want to make in this world is a castle from one of my favorite games growing up. This game, basically, I basically grew up with this game. This game raised me in a way. So this is a very special game to me. So what I want to recreate, obviously not perfectly with my own touch, is Peach's castle from Mario 64. However, well, it's gonna be a mixture of Mario 64 and Super Mario Galaxy, because I prefer the castle from Mario Galaxy, but I like the lawn. I like the moat and all of that from Mario 64 and the little waterfall. So I marked this place because this looks like the perfect place to build it, but I'm not really sure where, because there are 2 places where I really like the way it would have looked there. And there's another. Okay, the first choice would be to build it right here with these surrounding hills, which would act kind of like the hill in the waterfall. You know how the invisible walls in Mario 64, if you look into the horizon, all you see is like some mountains in the background and then nothing else. This kind of has that vibe. This little mountain right here and this one right here. So this is where the waterfall would be. The castle would be right here, and then probably like the little waterfall could be right there, and the moat could be right there. And obviously the town is someday going to surround the castle, but that's okay, because that's gonna have a touch to this castle and to my world. It doesn't have to be a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm gonna have creative freedom. The other place where I could see it working is over there, right there, in that little flat area. So that way it could be like an actual castle on top of a mountain, kind of like in the Mario movie, where it's on top of a mountain looking at the kingdom. But that place also reminds me of the Great Plateau from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know if you could see it, but it kind of looks like a plateau. But I can't decide if the Peach's Castle would be better on top of the plateau or over here. Obviously, this forest would go. I would have to cut it down. I'm gonna cut it down either way, except the ones on the hill, because I'm gonna build right here. But yeah, I can't decide if I'm gonna build it here or if I'm gonna build it there. Well, that's all I wanted to discuss about the next project. So I'm pretty much done with today's episode. I'm just gonna go back and check the map, I guess. And if you have any suggestion, if you could give me a suggestion on where to build Peach's Castle, please do so. The two choices are either below the plateau or on top of the plateau. Those are the two choices right now. And I have a little bit of time to plan it out. I mean, I still gotta gather all the resources, and then I have to cut down the trees. I have to plan out exactly where I'm gonna put it, and then I have to terraform, and I have to gather all the materials. If I do make the Super Mario Galaxy Peach Castle, I have to see what color it is, because I think it's pink in that one. So that could work, because I could use a cherry wood. But if it's the normal one, I guess I would have to use a mangrove, and that's gonna be a very nice thing to have to do. Nah, I'm kidding. But I think the first project from those 8 projects that I mentioned that I'm gonna finish, that I'll try to finish first, is probably the bamboo hotel. Then after that, I'll try to finish the orchard, then the treehouse. And then either I'll start on Peach's Castle, or I'll work on that. So when I start working on Peach's Castle, I'll make that into a little mini series, which is gonna be part of this series. I don't know if that makes sense. So basically, if it's let's say episode 60. I'm gonna be like, start planning out Peach's Castle number 1, and that would be like the first episode of that. But then at the end, I would put number 61, because that's the actual series number. That way, I could still work on the other projects if I get bored, or if I get tired of working on Peach's Castle. I could just go back to working on other things and continue it like that. So basically, one day I could work on Peach's Castle, and then like the next episode I could work on the treehouse or whatever, and that way I don't know, that's how I want to do it. But for now, we need we need to put you know what? The last thing that I'm gonna do in this episode is mark the pathway, so that I can finally. You know what? Why make 2 trips when I can make this easier on me and just bring the stone that I'm gonna need and the andesite? Let's connect the pathway already. Let's connect the orchard to the town. Let's put away the gravel. I don't need the gravel right now. I also don't need the copper. That copper is probably only gonna be useful now that they're gonna add the iron golem. The copper golem. Yeah, okay, here it is. Let's put the diorite away. And let's put how do you call these saplings away? Ooh, I don't know what, Nadoquines? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. What am I looking for? Stone. Alright, here's the stone. Okay, I'll probably get 2, because I probably need 2 stacks. And what else do I need? Andesite. Is that the only andesite that I have? Only 6 pieces? Oh man, that's not gonna work. No, please don't tell me that I only have 6 pieces of andesite. Where am I gonna find andesite? I don't even know where andesite is. Where is it? Please tell me that I have more somewhere. Not here. Please tell me that I have more. No. No. No, I'm kidding. I don't know why I'm crying like that. Okay. See, this is what I mean. Sometimes I have the simplest tasks and they somehow get longer. Because now I have to go find the andesite. Because I'm determined on finishing that pathway. Yeah, it's not that bad. I just had to go down into this little cave. The original cave, I think that has andesite. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, you know, I'll just continue the pathway without the andesite and then I'll just fill it in. Afterwards, that's not that big of a task because I'll be doing most of it. Oh, this sunrise looks a little creepy. It looks nice, but at the same time it looks creepy. I was watching the first episode of the series yesterday, and I saw how there was nothing, and now there's a lot, and I'm very proud of it. And I hope that I want to see where this takes us. I already have so many plans. I still have some ongoing plans that I was talking about the other time, like Radiator Springs. I don't know if you remember that, but I'm still gonna build that one, so that's future project. But that's gonna be in the desert, and first I want to make Peach's Castle because that brings way more nostalgia. I mean, Radiator Springs also has a lot of nostalgia weight on me because I was a huge fan of cars growing up, still am. Everything that I had was cars or 90 themed. And then the games that I grew up with the most, or that I played the most as a kid, was the Mario games, but also the Cars video games for the DS, for example. My first ever game that they bought for me, well, first of all, the first console that I ever owned was a PSP, and the first game that I had on the PSP was Cars the video game. That was in 2008 when I got it. So that I have such nostalgia for that game. It was one of my favorite games growing up, and all the music and all that. This is for me. This is what I'm on. This is exactly what I've been waiting for. Then after that, I got the DS next year. So you know, my favorite games from the DS was New Super Mario Bros. DS, Mario Kart DS, Super Mario 64. That was the first time not the first time, but the first time that I owned Mario 64 was on the DS. So that's why I want to build Mario's Castle. I mean Peach's Castle. What other game? Oh yeah, and then one day I was Student of the Month, so they bought me a game for that to congratulate me. And the game that I picked was Cars Race-O-Rama for the DS, and I loved that game because prior to that I did have another Cars game, basically the same game that I have for the PSP but for the DS. And if you don't know how the DS version is, it's nothing like the PSP version of it. On the DS it's all mini games. So when I bought Cars, the video game for the DS, I was expecting races and all that like the PSP version, but just in DS graphics. But boy, was I disappointed with those nasty, dirty, boring, uninspired mini games. And I love mini games, don't get me wrong. I loved Mario 64's mini games and also New Super Mario Bros. DS mini games. And also Mario Party minigames, but the minigames from Cars, oh, they were so bad. So when I got Cars Race-O-Rama and it turned out to be a racing game for the DS, you have no idea how excited I was. It was like Christmas Day, even though I don't celebrate Christmas. I do celebrate Christmas, but I don't celebrate it the way that most people do. You know, growing up Mexican, I believed not in Santa Claus, but in Los Reyes Magos. I don't know if you know what it is, but instead of waiting for presents on Christmas Eve, I would wait for presents on January 5th. So on the morning of January 6th, I would get my gifts. I hate that word. It's so hard to pronounce when you have a Mexican accent like mine. Gifts. Yeah, I don't know. So, as you can see, Cars was such a huge part of my childhood. Still is. The best memories that I have are from Cars Racerama. But on the Wii, that's gonna be like my favorite game ever. I still go back to it every once in a while. And when I first played the game, since I was used to the DS, and when I got the Wii, I got the Wii with Cars Racerama. That was my first Wii game, and also the bundles that it came with. So it came with Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. Those games I also love, but my favorite game was Cars Racerama, and it still is. Imagine going from the DS, Cars Racerama from the DS to the Wii. Oh, it felt unreal. It felt like I was playing a very realistic looking game, and when I look back now, it is not even close to being realistic looking. So it's so wild how life works. Okay, I'm gonna need slabs to make it have height. Let's make some slabs. I'm probably just gonna need 6 of each. Can I not? Oh, here it is. And then let's switch these for these. And where's the other one? Right here. Oh yeah, I remember coming back from school. I was in 4th grade, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was in 4th grade when I got the Wii. And Cars Racerama for the Wii. So I remember being in 4th grade and coming from school very excited. You know, I wanted the bus drive to be even shorter because I already wanted to be here. And then when I would get here, it would be so much fun playing. Those were the good old days. I still miss. Well, yeah, I live in nostalgia sometimes, and it's not a good thing to live in nostalgia because you want to go back to how it was, and it's never going to be that way ever again. And it's very unhealthy, in my opinion, to be living in the past. But sometimes you just gotta, because there's things that just bring you back to those times. Those times where everything was so good and so perfect. And you were having fun, and you wanted to grow up, and there was no reason for you to wanting to grow up. You thought it was going to be so good. Well, I thought it was going to be so good growing up. And I mean, it is, but nothing's going to compare to being a child. Oh, and then I don't remember when I got Mario Kart Wii, but that's also one of my favorite games. Growing up, I think this has a lot to do with Cars, and because Cars was my first game, and then I got Burnout Legends for the PSP as well. But growing up, my favorite genre of games were racing games. So when I tell you what my favorite games of my childhood were, most of them were going to be racing games. But not like hardcore racing games, child-like. Well, you'll see right now. My favorite games growing up were obviously the Mario Karts. So Mario Kart DS, that's like my favorite because where I spent my childhood, everyone had a DS and Mario Kart. So sometimes up to 7 people would join together to play, and it was so fun. Okay, I'm gonna do this differently. I just thought about it. I don't want to do a lot of work, and if I make it the way I was gonna make it, I'll have to put grass so that it covers the fact that it's not leveled. So I'm just gonna do it like this instead, and then I'm just gonna go up at the last moment. My favorite, the games that always bring me so much nostalgia nowadays is Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart Wii, Cars Racerama, Wii DS, Cars, the video game for the PSP, Mario Kart Wii, New Super Mario Bros. DS, Wii, and 2, Mario Kart 7, Mario Party Island Tour, even though the game no one likes, but I did like it, and I love the music from that, even though everyone says that it's uninspired and bland. There's something about that music that I love, I don't know why, but that's one of my favorite music. Oh, Mario Party DS, I never owned Mario Party DS, but whenever we would have parties, Mexican parties by the way, because I'm Mexican, you know, since most of my cousins had a DS and are my age, or around my age, instead of like, you know, partying, we would gather around and play Mario Party DS or Mario Kart DS, even New Super Mario Bros. The mini games. That was so fun. So even though I never owned Mario Party for the DS, I still have a lot of memories playing that game and parties. So I would say that one, Mario Party 8. I have a lot of nostalgia for that as well, even though it's not the best Mario Party. It's also not the worst. I mean, it's way better than Island Tour. But what's more nostalgic for me from that game is the music. The music they play when you're gonna start a minigame. I don't know how it's called, and I haven't found it on YouTube, but it goes like this. Yeah, I don't know if that sounded the way that it actually sounds. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That one too. And I was thinking the other day of why is Yoshi my favorite character. Every time that I play Mario Kart, I have to play as Yoshi ever since the Mario Kart DS. And I was thinking, I can't even speak. How did that even happen? But then I was like, you know what? I blame Mario Party. Well, this is a huge problem. When I play Mario Party, Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros., I always have to be Yoshi. He's like my favorite character ever. Just the way that McQueen is also one of my favorite characters ever. Yoshi is my go-to all the time. So I was thinking that it's Super Mario 64's fault because you start as Yoshi, so I guess you get attached to him, and that's how I met Yoshi and how I got attached to him. It's because he's so cute. He is so cute. There's no way that someone does not like him. If you meet someone that doesn't like him, you know it's a red flag. Because how can someone not like him? Okay, so that's how he did it. Okay. I'll be RB. That's a catchphrase from Lightning McQueen. Also, first place again? No! And then, sorry, just need my space. Recently I found out that it's not the same voice actor. So this is kind of weird. I'm going to say something right now that's going to be a little weird. I'm more of a fan of Lightning McQueen from the video games more than... I like Lightning McQueen from the video games more than I like the Lightning from the movies. And that's gonna sound so weird, but I'm gonna explain myself right now. So in the movie, when that movie came out in 2006, I was 5 years old. Wait, when did it come out? I don't know when it came out, but when I saw it, I was 5 years old. Because I saw it in December probably of 2006. So I was 5 years old. I saw that movie probably 100 times or more. And somehow, even as a little kid, even though I was like 6 years old, or 5, whatever. Even as a kid, I always hated the way Lightning McQueen was. I was like, I didn't know that it was cocky back then, but I knew that there was something about him that I didn't like, and I didn't like the way he would act, the way he would treat people and everything, so arrogant. So even though I loved the movie and I loved Lightning McQueen, somehow I hated watching the movie at the same time, because I hated the way he would act in the beginning of the movie, you know. And then I guess I wasn't a smart kid because I hated Doc Hudson too. And Sally. The only one I didn't hate was Mater. And my favorite car from Cars for a long time, for some reason, was Fillmore. I always had a soft spot for Fillmore, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because he was green, or if it has something to do with Joshi. I don't know. But Fillmore was one of my favorite characters from the movie. Probably even more than Lightning McQueen for a while. Which is crazy and wild. I don't know why. How could that happen? But in the movies, he's very arrogant, very, you know, like that. But in the games, he's a lot nicer. So I think that I prefer the video games, and also because in the video games you could drive throughout Radiator Springs, so you actually felt like you were in Radiator Springs. And in the movie, you can feel that too, but you're not moving yourself. So when I was a kid, I always wanted to be or to live in Radiator Springs, so that's why I'm gonna build Radiator Springs in this world, or I'll try to. I know it's not gonna be perfect, but I'll try to. Anyways, I finished the pathway, as you can see. So finally, well, not finally, but what's the word? Officially. So the orchard is officially connected to town, so it's part of the town now. It used to be its own separate thing, but now it's part of the town, which means that it's time to update the map. But I'm probably gonna do that off camera, and that means that this map, this world, no. Get it together, Arturo. Hey, PHP Gamer. Get it together and think about what you're gonna say. This means that this town has expanded and is expanding, and I'm gonna leave you right here with my beautiful cats and dogs in this very nice, relaxing bonsai living room. Imagine having a room like this in real life. It would be so cozy. And I love my character, but it somehow looks like I have a big nose, but that's my beard. It's like a mustache. Well, anyways, thank you for watching, and be ready for whatever I build next and for whatever I finish first. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, the next project is going to be a huge project that I'm very, 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 very excited about. Peach's Castle from Mario 64/Super Mario Galaxy. See you guys later. Bye.